Hi, everybody. In part one, we left off right as we were designating motors and sensors. So let's see, I'll go back and show you. I started a new file. I adjusted my some settings that we talked about in part one, and now I'm ready to designate motors and sensors. Here I am. I'm going to skip port one, and I'm going to start with port two. Motor 1. Abbreviate, because when you're typing a bunch of code, the less you have to type, the better. So I've put two motors here, and then I'm going to tell the computer the type, and they are 393 motors, VEX 393. So you have some analog sensors, and they are the line tracker and the potentiometer. So again, it's up to you where you plug them in numerically, just as long as you plug them in the analog ports. The same thing for the motors. You always have to skip port one, that's a special port, but you can put them in different ports as long as you plug them into those ports, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. And remember, if you don't know how to plug them in, watch this YouTube video, part 13. Don't break the prongs at the end. All right, so two analog sensors. The first is the line tracker. I abbreviate it line TR, and it's actually the line follower here. There's more than one name. It's kind of weird, but line follower, line tracker. Port 2, potentiometer, too long. I'm just going to call it potentiometer. So again, you're abbreviating. Doesn't have to be these ports, but the port where you plug in each of these sensors must match your designation. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, we have two digital sensors and an LED. We'll put the bumper switch in one. That's a touch sensor, okay? Physical contact is the type of information that it obtains. And your limit switch, we'll call it LMT, sorry. And that's also a touch sensor. The limit switch has the little arm on it that clicks when it's depressed, okay? You can put your LED, we'll call it green, can be any color, and you can put it in any digital port. Just make sure your designation matches. Okay, so we've designated two motors, we've specified the type, two analog sensors, specified the type, two digital sensors, and an LED. We're ready to do some coding. You'll see a summary of your designations at the top of the screen. All right, so this is the test bed. So you're going to test out a bunch of different code. So sample code. As you create each sample code exercise, click Save As and save to your desktop. You'll need to submit these, save everything to your desktop. There are some examples. There are 9, I think. 9. All right. I'm going to show you a while loop. While loops are very important. There are 2 examples there. The one I show you is neither of these. It's just something new. But I want you guys to kind of get experience and practice finding how to recreate these sample code exercises. All right, so while loops mean that the code will loop back to the top and repeat continuously. Does that make sense to you right now? Probably not, but it will later. So click control structures, then control structures again to find this while loop. You click and drag. Did you miss that? I'll do it again. Oops. Control structures again. Click, hold down, and drag between the brackets. The condition you want is, and notice I double clicked, 1 == 1. That is code for always. Double click body, and we're going to minimize control structures and go to natural language. Click on movement, and while you're here, between these 2 inner brackets, bring a start motor and a stop motor. Okay? All right, now give yourself some space. Go to until, find until bump, put 1 at the top of start motor, and then you can give yourself some space here by pressing enter and drag a second until bump here. Okay? Now we have kind of like the framework of our code, but we cannot leave these ports and times without changing them. So the bump, you're going to reference here BMP, your abbreviation. Double click delay time and type a 0. Motor, let's just do motor 1. Speed, max speed for Vex is 127. Until bump, BMP, delay time 0, motor port, motor 1. Okay, so this looks good to me. I'm going to click up here, download to robot, click my desktop here, and say while loop example. Click save. This means it's downloading to your robot. So exciting. Then you must click start, and if you give your button a push, you hear your motor turn on. Such a lovely sound. And until it's bumped a second time, it turns off. So bump once, on, bump again, off. All right, so if you're ready to practice some more sample code, you go, this one's saved, new file. You can actually go back to the while loop, first example, highlight all of this, copy, and paste at the top. I forgot I'm in Windows and it's Control, not Command, sorry. Paste all of that and start your second sample code. Remember, you're practicing these, save all of them, and then you'll submit them later. I hope you learned a lot, guys, and I hope I was maybe a little entertaining. See you later. Work hard. Do well.